here to talk about cold weather sewing. We have some of Sally's makes from a few years, maybe the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, Regina.
Yep.
And we're going to talk a little bit about spring sewing too, because the way to make Sally start sewing again is to schedule a photo shoot.
Or have a deadline, definitely.
Yeah, a deadline. So we have a deadline for the 26th of October. So that means
that means she's got 4 more days.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So I can do it. I can do it.
So to clear our table off, because we really have ourselves piled up over here, why don't we start? I'm going to start with this Swiss stuff because I like it, and it's cute. It's messy everywhere. So we have been getting in the prettiest pictures of garments. We've been sharing the corduroy berry bundle with Story of Grace. We have today, Marcia Cantrell shared a smocked ginger snaps. The basic yoke dress is the name of it. I'm going to go to our overhead so I can show y'all what we've been dreaming up. So this is, I love this insertion, this embroidered bow insertion.
It looks like shadow embroidery, and white on white shadow embroidery.
It's really pretty.
Really pretty.
Yeah. So here it is. We've put it on red set of pleat.
Yeah, set of pleat. The other thing you can do is run a little gathering thread and pull it up, because it's really sweet that way, Crystin.
But so what we're envisioning, for those of you on Instagram, we have an overhead on Facebook and YouTube. If you want to check us out there, we get the close-up views. This could go straight across the front of your dress, and it would be an easy make because the Lillian is so simple, or an A-line is so simple, and all of this is after the fact.
Yeah.
So gathered on the bottom and then also on the top, and Sally's saying this might be even easier if you've got a ribbon that has like a pull header kind of gathering thread.
Yeah, sometimes you can check that ribbon and you actually can find a little thread to pull it up. But it's very easy. It's very easy to either pleat it or gather it, because it's not going to go very far, maybe 12 inches at the most. This is the Anna Catherine from Bonnie Blue, and it's an A-line, and they even have, this is not a seam here, there's just a line here.
Drawn on the
pattern that you put a piece of lace. But it's similar to that, don't you think? Where you just decorate straight across the front. That's really pretty.
So also another idea is kind of like a tab going down the front. I mean, like a Lillian-esque, Lily Pulitzer look. You could run all the way down the front of an A-line dress, and that would be really beautiful as well. But what we pulled for that, again, in the spirit of the holidays, the same kind of idea, like some kind of plaid or tartan ribbon, and then you could gather a little edging. I mean, this would be cute if you just tucked out the side you had a rickrack. I mean, it wouldn't even have to be a lace edging.
Yeah. But I like the contrast. I think it's pretty.
I do too. Well, it reminds me of Abby Wilkinson's dress. She made like a corduroy dress and had that front tab look. So
yeah, that's cute.
There's a couple holiday ideas.
Yeah. What'd you have this one here for? Just
because it's Christmas.
Well, but that could be used on that, the same idea where we showed it can be
a Christmas present.
Run down this from the shoulder seam all the way down, and then across the front like that.
And then it's
and
like
then
a bow.
Just add a little bow, and it does look like a wrapped Christmas present. There's your present.
That's fun. So there's a couple just Christmas ideas.
Yeah,
Let's get
cute.
this stuff out of the way. I really love these tartan ribbons that we have. They're embellishment. But we have several different widths and also color varieties in those tartan plaids. What you got for us, Sally?
Well, I will talk about this because this is beautiful. It just came in, and it's 60-inch wide, white satin batiste, 100% Pima cotton, made in Japan. And you can see it's very lightweight. It has a gorgeous, gorgeous sheen to it. And people are taking advantage of this because the 45-inch is more expensive. We have it in 45-inch, but the 60-inch we got a great deal on, so it's only $12.98 a yard.
We've also never had it in a 60-inch width.
No, I've never seen it. I've never seen it in 60-inch, and it's beautiful. This would be gorgeous. We carry the colors of Satin Batiste in pipings, and so this would be beautiful. White Satin Batiste with the pre-made pipings that we have out of our pastel Satin Batiste would be beautiful on this. And also even some of our silk charmeuse pipings would be really pretty on here.
So it absolutely lends itself for holiday wear, like, and definitely like your Easter, you know, spring sewing. But it's very beautiful for holiday wear, because it has that nice sheen.
That's pretty.
So especially in the South, it's warmer, and you can incorporate Satin Batiste, and
or you can put your flannel slip on underneath it. Make a white flannel slip and get warm.
That'd be pretty.
Yeah, it's pretty. You could smock it in a holiday design.
So we have been working on some sewing kits for y'all. We like to offer sewing kits where it's all the parts and pieces for a, it's like a pre-coordinated look based off of a pattern. It gives you the size range and then everything that you need to make that look. And in that, Sally has been working with laces, and she's going to demonstrate a little bit later on how to sew laces together, like if you have a narrow edge to increase your width. But let's move some more stuff off our table first, because these are very pretty. So these are new. They're like a pique weave. They're a little heavier than like your Swiss whale pique.
Yeah, this is like Princess Bullseye or something like that. It's beautiful, and it's so wide. Oh my goodness,
show you
how
up
wide
close.
It looks like it's wider than, and it's this is kind of a mint, a really icy mint green. I'm not sure what they call this one, but I'm looking for my yardstick
So
to see how wide
definitely like a jacket or a coat made from this fabric as your outer fabric, and you could line it with beautiful florals or brighter color fabrics. But Sally has used this for bodice dresses, dress bodices, whichever way. Is that right? Sounds funny now.
I know it.
So, but also collars and cuffs. It's a great weight. A jumper.
I think it's not too heavy for collars. Another thing I was just thinking of, because we've used the shadow stripe pique and something soft like sheen sateen or satin batiste for a baby blanket before, and put satin ribbon around it. This would be a wonderful for like a baby blanket with something soft like
on the other
brushed,
side. Yes,
would be really pretty. And or you could even have it for a floor blanket or a lap blanket.
Even add this as like a ruffle going around the edge of the blanket.
Yes.
That would be really pretty.
Leilani said that would make a gorgeous jacket.
It would be a wonderful
really
jacket. It would.
And it's a great, the colors that we just received are very bright and pretty.
And they're kind of off the beaten path. I mean, they're not the ones that we normally can find. And so when we get from this vendor, they're buying from a garment manufacturer, and like, ooh.
So it might be a lady's jacket
somewhere.
Yeah,
that's right. That's right.
So is this 100% cotton?
This is 100%
And you measured
cotton.
it?
It's 60. It just seems so wide because it was by a 45 inch.
Too.
Yeah.
All right.
It's nice. It's not too heavy. You know, it's maybe the weight of a corduroy or something like that. Yeah. But a little heavier than Swiss whale pique, I'd say. Yeah. I love the little diamond. The little diamond pattern in here is really, really sweet. It's like a little tiny stitch diamond design.
So as far as coordinates go, we do have this brushed cotton up here, and it would be very, very beautiful as coordinates for it. We did go with something a little bit heavier. What you thinking, Emma?
I was just thinking you could do the overhead for the texture if you wanted to.
Oh, yeah.
While you show those next coordinates.
So for the cottons, we did pull quilting cottons because they are a little bit heavier, and I think that I mean the colors are beautiful.
The colors look great.
Yeah, that's really nice.
They're good.
So you can jazz up a blouse, or even like a blouse for a jumper, or a top for pants, or line a jacket.
And this is the Laney pattern by Bonnie Blue Designs, and we have a kit out of this that people are really loving. But this shows a contrast for the band and the straps, and then maybe a little ruffle down here. And with all of these, you could definitely use something and put a contrast with it and make that work.
I like that idea. That would be really pretty. Cute.
Yeah, like that. And if it's just on, if it's a single layer maybe on top, I don't think it would be too heavy to go on here as a contrast.
Yeah, to use them on the same garment.
This could be the contrast on here too.
Yeah, that would be nice. All right, so to show y'all those other coordinates, because we really did have some really pretty colors that came in. Here is another pink. I'll grab it from you if you let me grab the pink. We have these, so this is that same Princess Bullseye. It's a diamond weave. And again, we pulled some brighter florals.
That's pretty with it.
Isn't that sweet?
Yeah, that's
I like
pretty.
that.
Now this, I'm going to show you the matte jumper dress top and pants, and it's shown with using contrasting fabrics and trims, and so I think that would work also with the with any of these patterns. So Madison is number 137, and it comes in 2 size ranges, 12 months to 4 years, and 5, 6, 7, and 8 in the larger size.
What you been ironing? I hear your iron going off over there.
I've been ironing the Christmas dress here.
Gotcha. So whenever we had Mike and Sita from Fabric Finders with us, they were showing the Santa, we call it the Santa heads. Actually, we've been calling it the floating Santa heads is what we say. It's on a microcheck, and it's a blue microcheck background. We have this dress that Regina made graciously for my children, which was so fun. So we are getting this back in stock. It has not arrived yet. We have a couple people that are anxious to receive it, just like we are. Joy Welsh of appliqueforkids.com actually released another collar this week.
Is it with the candy canes?
It's so
pretty. It's really, really cute. Yes.
So all of this is done in the hoop, and it looks great. This is the Anna Catherine by Bonnie Blue Designs, and it's a great little Christmas dress.
Buttons down the back, and this one is not lined, so very easy. You could easily line it, but it really didn't need it. Yeah.
Pretty.
But Joy has, I think she has pumpkin designs, because Regina Karish of Come Sew With Me on Facebook has made the collars and things out of the pumpkin designs too. You cannot go wrong with Applique for Kids, Joy Welch. She's got some adorable, adorable designs. Really cute.
She's actually featured in I believe every issue of Classic Sewing.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
she's a very talented seamstress,
Yeah.
and she has awesome designs. She's broken them up that you can just buy just little parts and pieces of the look. It's really nice. Okay, so how about, we have a couple different promotions going on right now. We were talking up some more exciting ones that are coming in the future. We have some very beautiful quality knit fabrics that we have added into what we are calling our not going out of business sale.
And guess what? We are not fabric.com. That is going out of business. Somebody said, I'm so sorry you're going out of business. So I want to tell you, we're not going out of business.
And, but with this, I'm thinking about what our sale is. Yes, we were talking about having to announce that today. We're not going out of business. We're still here.
That's right.
Farmhousefabrics.com is where you can shop with us. It's going to be hard to find all the links to their website with watching us today. You might not find this at fabric.com.
Oh, right.
So with our knit fabrics, we have, 8 or 10 that we've marked down. The starting price before the 30% off is, the highest of the starting prices on these knits is $9.99. So with your 30% off, you're looking somewhere around $6.50. So, but we have lots of really pretty colors. There's lighter weights, there's heavier weights.
I love this one.
All seasons.
The flamingo is so cute.
It is cute.
Yeah.
This would be a real fun nightgown, actually.
It would be. It's this one is lightweight, jersey, soft, stretchy.
Beach cover up.
Yes, it's wonderful.
Actually, I had somebody call that wanted to start sewing on knits and took advantage of the sale because the prices are so good. Yeah. So, in that category, you can find pretty much a little sampling from all over our store. We have notions. We have different kits. We have cuts where we've come to the end of the bolt and we're trying to figure out what to do with that 2/3 of a yard that's left over. And so we've put it into that category. So, do you want to go over your third color here?
Yes, this is my favorite, and the piques that came in. I love this because the design is so unusual. So this is,
I think I might have picked this for the pink, but I kind of like it.
yeah, it looks good with that. This is kind of an aqua. Let's see if they called it. They did call it aqua. This is aqua, and it has such an unusual design. We can maybe go to the overhead in a second, but they're like little ovals connected with little straight lines. But it's so cute.
It's an oval straight line pique.
Yeah, it's an oval straight line pique. But it's very, the design is very unique. And I have used similar type designs to make just a yoke on a dress and then a contrasting fabric for a Peter Pan collar and the skirt. And it's really cute that way. So this with the texture, you could take advantage of that in collars and yokes and cuffs and actually you can do the whole garment, but a jacket out of this would be very cute.
It would be very pretty.
Yeah, but anyway, this is one of my favorites right here.
So again, awesome. I love the bright colors for colder weather sewing, and then you can liven it up even more because there's, I mean, we could find in our store so many different coordinates with this. So I feel like your stash probably has something too that would look nice with them.
That's pretty.
In the world of spring, Sally is having to think of, where's your heirloomy looking stuff?
Well, it's time to talk about our spring photos for the spring issue of the magazine. And I know some of you probably haven't gotten your holiday issue yet, but for us, it's time.
This is the world we live in.
Yeah, we're ahead of the game here. But I kept thinking about now that the pictures are going to be on. Is it Wednesday? Wednesday.
Tuesday.
Tuesday. Tuesday.
I'll just pretend it's Tuesday. It's
Okay.
actually Wednesday.
Okay. It is Wednesday? Oh, good. Good. Yeah. Anyway, I made this pattern 2 years ago for Farron. And it's called the 90-Minute Pinafore by Creative Keepsakes. And I really actually like the drawing of it better than the picture on the front because this is a cute, cute pattern. The 90-Minute Pinafore, and I'm saying it took me a little, I'm pretty fast at sewing, but it took me a little more than 90 minutes to make it. But I did interface the yoke and all that kind of stuff. But it's got a cute V back, and so we're thinking spring, and I don't know how it's going to do, but I do have my little Australian grandkids are here, and one of them is a little girl, and her name is Rosemary. And she's been playing with June and Farron, and every time they come, she'll say, "My friends are here, my friends are here." And so I thought maybe I can make all three of them a little dress. And this is a new, is it Satin Batiste? I don't know, maybe just a Batiste print awesome. That came in, and to kind of really sheer and pretty. And we're just putting it on today. It's going online right now. Limited quantities on this, but for the little angel sleeve and maybe around the hem, it'd be really, really cute. So by Tuesday, I'm going to have these done.
She'll only have 2 done by Tuesday.
I'll definitely have 2 done by Tuesday because that's what I really have to have. But I think they'll be so adorable, and I can just see them running around holding hands, and because they've been doing that. They've been holding hands and giving hugs, and it's really, really been sweet. So look at this beautiful Swiss. This is one that's no longer available, and it's quite sheer, but it has a little bit of body to it. It's not an organdy, but it's
almost organdy.
Almost,
it really is.
But it's sheer and like muslin, like Swiss mousseline or something,
like that.
But it's really delicate with these little bouquets of flowers. So this is probably on the website right now. Anyway, it'll be linked very soon. So
what do y'all think? Yeah, exactly.
What do you think? I mean, these are kind of big, but I think if we break it up with something solid, I don't think it'll be too much. And I'm going to make little maybe petticoats under the skirts to make them.
She's going to be buying petticoats to go under those skirts.
I might chop up. I have chopped them off before, the ones that we have, and put elastic waistband on them. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But it's time for me to sew again. You know, I haven't sewn since we went to the beach.
This is a nice wide lace. I mean, you can cut it down and use it more narrow.
Which I will do for the shoulders, you know. Yeah.
Right. But in using a more narrow lace, if you need that little bit wider look, like if it suits the size of the dress you're making or the pattern size, Sally is going to demonstrate for us how you can increase the width of the lace.
Well, I know that when I first started sewing with heirloom laces, I never would have dreamed this was okay to do. I've seen people attach a lace insertion, which is straight on both edges, attach it to a lace edging to make it wider. But then my friend Connie Palmer and also our friend Jane Seeley both sew exquisite heirloom garments. They both have overlapped a lace edge
to an edging.
to a lace edging. So the scallop is actually in the center, and I'll show you I did that with a few little things
the
here.
edging then becomes
then you can make it
like
wider.
a fake insertion or something.
Yeah, that's right. And so I didn't bring an insertion with me, but I can show
You want me to
this.
flip it over?
Oh yeah, I do. Yep. So
Here's what we're working with.
yeah. First of all, I'm just going to show you this because somebody asked how do you attach a galloon lace. So let's go to that. It's totally unrelated to the others. But this is a galloon lace is a lace that's scalloped on both sides, both edges. And all I do is when I lay it down on the fabric, you mark your fabric so you have a nice straight line. And you can use a glue stick like a sew line glue pen, and then run it down there and glue your lace down there. It is washable.
So in this regard, it's a top stitch use.
It is top
Sally,
stitch.
the garment's done, or you're at least cut it out and
Yeah.
you're top stitching this on.
Right. Let's say this is around the hem or down the yoke, and you haven't sewn the yoke to the skirt yet. So then you just run and mark your line, go straight down, and then I put one single stitch here and then another one single stitch here on each edge. This little loopy doop here, this is
Free
loose.
floating.
Yeah, it's free floating. And so I attached it right here. And sometimes they're just scalloped and it's not quite so obvious where it has a straight line. Even still, if you use a fine thread like a DMC 50 or a Madeira 80 weight, you can just sew a straight line down there and match your galloon.
I feel like a lot of times with the galloons, they actually have like kind of a border before they get to the edging. So it does lend that natural place that you can just top stitch down.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, speaking of Connie and Jane, they use galloons in fancy bands. I mean, you can attach.
That's right, because they could overlap it on something else.
Right,
That's
right.
true.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
true.
they would do like a faggoting stitch. You could faggot this to another piece of lace, or you could even do like a zigzag. Would you not zigzag that to something else?
Maybe. I have to think about what I'm doing with, because this
So
is so
you would
different.
attach that to an edging is how you would attach that one, as far as using it in a fancy band.
Well, let's see. I've got one that maybe. Yeah, if you did that, you might put it over the top of an edging.
So in which case you
And
would
then
just do a
could
straight
just-
stitch
You could
again.
just straight stitch.
Mhm.
Yeah. Because some of them are just more of a Swiss where it's embroidered. This is much easier. I mean, to see where to sew. But yeah.
Well, cool.
So this lace right here is a synthetic lace, and so it's either nylon or polyester. It's made in Austria, and so I pulled this just because it's easy to see the design and easy to see that you can overlap one lace edging over another. And with this, it's not going to fray, and so I just
You can't even not cutting it away.
Right.
You can't even see it.
can't see it, and I use regular thread on this instead of extra fine, and I should have used extra fine because you can see my thread a little bit. But the thing I wanted to show on this, see, this makes it then twice as wide, and then you could gather. I did a zigzag over a coordinate thread that I had, and so that whole piece could be gathered then and sewn into a sleeve or something like that. And it could be like this, or you could attach it flat to the hem of a dress or something.
That's beautiful as a
Isn't that
sleeve.
pretty? It's pretty that way. But I wanted to show, you see how this has a direction? This has a direction to the roses. The roses are all going here. Well, if you're not careful, you can do that. I mean, I did this on purpose. I promise I did this on purpose. I flipped them around. So you really want them all to be going in the same
I
direction.
can absolutely see that this
Can you
one.
see that there are
yes.
two directions? And it's kind of hard to tell which is the right and the wrong side of these. They look so similar on both sides. But I wanted to show an example of it going in opposite directions, so that when you're when you're sewing two laces together, you really want to be sure that your design is all going in the same direction. So otherwise you're going like this. And then I think it looks more like a whole piece of lace that's meant to be that way.
I mean, you can't really even with you using a thicker thread and not cutting away on the back, you can, it looks like one piece.
It does. And then when you gather it like this is pretty.
Are you thinking the beauty of a gathered anything because it hides so much more of any kind of...
Actually, it does.
It
but
does.
Yeah. Because even if you go around the bottom of a skirt, if you ease it up a little bit, it doesn't like pull it in, doesn't suck it in. You know, it's good to ease it up, build a little ease in it. Then on here, wanted to show this one. This is there are two pieces of this Swiss edging. And so I think there's too much plain area to lay this like right up on top of here. It's going to look kind of awkward and weird. And so I just eyeballed it to where I thought this is prettier to show that much of a plain unembroidered area.
I mean, this on the bottom of a dress would be so pretty.
Yeah.
You're thinking about for a sleeve, but that would be a beautiful hem.
It would be a beautiful hem. And I'm even wondering if you could use like two different laces that were complementary, like maybe a dot and a floral or something. Put one on top of the other and make it work. I don't know. I think you could. And so with this cotton, when you can see that the cotton that could fray. And so it needs to be finished, plus it needed to be trimmed. And so I trimmed it off to, it was after I sewed it on, I trimmed it off about 3/8 of an inch. And then I used my fine thread on this. And I just did a little simple zigzag. But I'm sure you could do a serged edge or something. But I left this on to show the part that I trimmed off. And then, so you're really not going to notice it much when it's gathered. Let's just gather that up. You know, that's not going to be that obvious on top of a skirt or at the hem.
But I do see that like this is much like a much more like a blend. It's a blend, an easier blend.
It is.
This on the fabric is a little bit harsher.
So this, let's see where I can put that. This is a French lace edging. There are two pieces of this edging on top of each other. Let's see. So here's the scalloped edge, and then there's the straight edge on the back. Let me show it. Yeah, the straight edge on the back. And I mean, I just eyeballed it. I didn't glue it or pin it or anything. And I used the extra fine a DMC 50 weight and just sewed a straight stitch right along here. And there you really can't tell anything.
Really pretty.
And there's a little bit of the scallop is loose, and it's pretty that way, but this is not going to fray.
Do you know what it does? And I hadn't thought of this word till just now. It makes the scallop of the edging an overlay.
Yeah,
like it creates like it's like a lace overlay.
That's right.
When you attach the two edgings.
So if you don't have, sometimes now it's hard to find a wide enough edging. Back in the olden days, there were many more French lace edgings that were wide, but they've gotten so expensive that I don't think they're making them much anymore. And so to create that same beautiful look, you just make your own by putting one lace on top of the other. And honestly, you wouldn't have to have the same width. You could have a more narrow width on top of a wider width, and then you still gather it
or
up.
vice versa even.
Yeah.
I mean,
so then with French lace, there's always a little pull thread in the header of French lace. And this is called the header up here where it's straight. And you find a little thread right here and you pull that up and it gathers. It gathers
so a header
your lace.
is on an edging. So is there a header thread on an insertion?
Yes. Yes, because insertion in the French lace, there are header threads on both sides of the insertion. Because you need that header thread.
You still have an edging on insertion.
Well, an insertion is going to have two straight edges.
Oh, a galloon.
Yeah,
right,
a galloon.
Right.
But an insertion will have two straight edges. And an insertion is what you use when you do lace shaping. Like if you do the wedding ring collar, which swirls around, or you do a heart shape or something like that, because you use an insertion lace and you pull the thread up to shape it into the shape that you want. And so anyway,
what you got going on over there?
Instagram would like to see.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's see. I'll show you. This is the French lace.
So this is a lace edging to a lace edging,
Yep.
and it creates that little bit of an overlay, and it's really beautiful.
It does. And this one I tried to line my design up too, so that it kind of matched.
So same thing here. She has sewn two edgings together, and they really, it's almost a seamless thing, and she didn't even use the right materials. I mean, you didn't use the fine thread.
That's right.
And on the French laces, they actually are so much of a better blend, or in this particular case, it doesn't show as much as the Swiss.
Well, I thought about the Swiss because we're working with Connie Palmer made a beautiful dress a while back for me, and she used 2 layers of a Swiss edging. They were in white with pink and blue. And so I wanted to recreate it, but I don't have that same Swiss edging. And so I pulled out another one, and it was so fine and pretty. It kind of makes me think of this. Where is that? What I'm using here.
Mm-hmm.
And so then it showed through so much that I thought, oh, maybe for the Swiss edgings, you need something that's a little less see-through. But I suppose you could do it, right? You could put one on top of the other, and if you had 2 narrow ones, and make it.
So Connie designed a sleeve, and also did she double it up on the bodice as well?
She doubled it up, not the bodice, I think, but on the hem.
So
look at
to
this.
make a wider sleeve, she doubled it up. It was really pretty.
This is wide enough to do a double ruffle on the sleeve. Is that not pretty?
It's really pretty.
Maybe I need to do that for that dress. That's pretty. Look at that. Ooh.
So when that dress is made and it's not using this lace or those fabrics, y'all don't be surprised.
This is how I get started,
This
right?
is how Fridays go.
This is how I get started.
That's beautiful.
I love that. Ooh, that's pretty.
And she's going to put it on graceful voile. And it's going to be so pretty.
You know what? It would be really nice on graceful voile.
Or an embroidered Swiss.
Oh my
organdy
goodness.
would be beautiful.
No kidding. Oh man.
All right, y'all, we are doing weekly drawings. The video posts on Thursday. And what we ask you to do is follow our page, comment, answer our question. We've been having a lot of fun getting to know y'all better. This week's question, we wanted to know,
do you prefer to sew on natural fiber fabrics or on synthetic fabrics or blends? And there were some very interesting answers. I always say that because it's really true. And some of you say, well, it depends on which daughter-in-law I'm sewing for, because you see that? I mean, some of them you can't. Yeah,
that's highly offensive.
And I didn't mean to offend her, but I did just iron her dress.
I brought that dress. We wouldn't even have that thing there.
No, that's the truth.
Oh, I just drew.
Oh yeah, you did.
I did.
You better
I
not put
can't
it
put
back.
it back. Yes, I wasn't even thinking. All right, Natalie Horn 62. Variety is the spice of life. I like sewing on different fabrics. As always, a great giveaway. She doesn't say anything about daughter-in-laws or who she's sewing for. I totally get that, but
some say
I'm a daughter-in-law, so
some of them like to iron and some of them don't like to iron, and so I get that too. She's pretty busy with 4 girls.
some say.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. Make sure that you join us back here on Friday, and we will be gabbing and gushing, and yeah, we got lots of good stuff coming for y'all. Y'all shop our Not Going Out of Business sale. There is 30% off with code FF30 off.
Only in that category.
Only if you shop that category. We have a special with 3 yards of a ribbon with every purchase of $25 or more at Farmhouse right now. And then our bundle bonus is about to run out. So anything from our bundles and cuts category receives a coupon that you can use on your next order at Farmhouse Fabrics. So yeah.
Who made a dress out of this that you posted? This
It's Hattie
is
Handmade.
So pretty. Tell me again.
Hattie Handmade.
Hattie Handmade on Instagram.
I'm about to do an actual post with this.
Oh, good.
I've filmed the fabric.
This is color number 40 from Speckler Vogel and Pima Cotton. Wonderful. And the dress is darling.
She made it about 5 years ago.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, we've posted it. I just love it. Every year I think about it.
So, when there are classic things they're classic. That means they never go out of style. And absolutely, this is selling like crazy. This tartan plaid, wonderful.
All right, guys, we'll see y'all back here next week, and we'll see you then.
So I have to sit here and smile until she shuts me off.